So you do video
Yep,
also?
it's video. So right now it'll be live on Twitch
Oh, cool.
just for 2 weeks.
Cool.
I don't like subscribe to that. Well, you know what I mean? I don't pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll trim it up and put it on. I just started a YouTube channel like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So it'll be on there too,
Cool.
starting tomorrow.
Cool.
But it'll be ready for release like right after we finish. Like whoever subscribes to my show will get it like right as soon as I download it. It goes right to them. So we get plays like right off the rip.
Dope.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Day drinking with dog, day drinking. Day drinking with dog, day drinking. Day drinking with dog, day drinking.
Welcome back, Day Drinking with Dog. It is July 26, 2023. Summer rolling right along. It's almost August. I always say once July 4th hits, the summer is basically over. And that's because I work all summer, so I kind of want it to be over. Anyway, today I got a great guest. Actually, kind of known this dude for a while. Always frequents the bar. I wouldn't say you're a quiet guy, but, you know, you do your own thing. Jimmy from Scooped Up. Jimmy, how you doing, pal?
How we doing? Chilling.
Chilling. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Now I have not realized how much musical talent is in this fucking town.
Yeah, I mean, if
Like-
you look around for it, you'll find it.
Yeah, I mean, I had some guys back in the past that were like school teachers teaching guitar. This guy Chris, and then I had got Hawkins on, and then I had the guitarist from Hatebreed was on.
Who? Chris Califas?
Chris Califas,
I know
yes,
him, yeah.
Was he your teacher?
Yep. West Shore.
Great guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He plays at Stonebridge a lot too. And then I had Tyler from Aim Vision himself on, and then I was introduced to you a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, I know you, I've seen you
Yeah,
around.
Tyler's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah,
So
good
Hawkins.
kid. Yep. So you have a lot of things. You are a man of music, art, film, all that stuff. So let's start with the music because this is kind of weird. Like we didn't talk about this pre-show, but Sinead O'Connor died today. Do you know who that is?
I know
The Irish singer with like the bald head.
I know the name.
She's
I can't
only
sing the song.
56. Nothing compares to you, is the song. Nothing compares to you.
Yeah. No,
All right.
that-
So she was kind of rest in peace, but she got very political later in life, which I guess they all do. But she's only 56. And it was weird. I had Benny McCullough from the Alpaca Gnomes on. And that was like May 24th. And that was the day Tina Turner died. So this is getting kind of, I got to be careful who I'm
man.
bringing on the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
It's not your fault. I'm just
Sounds
saying,
like
just
it.
the coincidence. Like the same day. Like
That's who. That's.
I have a
my
musician on and they're dropping out there. So you're in a band called Scooped Up. You've been around a while. You guys do all originals. You sent me some videos last night. I got this lesson downloaded. I won't play it right this second, but we'll do a little 20-minute excerpt after you tell me kind of like your influences, how the band started, where you're going from here. I know you got some exciting news coming up, with some current shows. So what's up with Scooped Up?
Well, Scooped Up is my band. We've been around since 2016-ish. Our debut album came out 2018, so I'd count pretty much everything after that is when we've been more established and stuff. We played skate punk and pop punk. Anything you could skate to is pretty much what we sound like.
I mean, you got the skater look.
Well,
For
I do,
sure.
I do
Yeah.
indulge in the skating. We play shows at our local skate park all the time that I've
Yeah.
been like throwing. So like during COVID, we had nowhere to play.
Right.
So we started throwing shows there at our park because I'm there all the time anyway. Like back then, especially during COVID, for whatever reason, the park was filled with people because I guess everyone wanted to get outside and there'd be like 20 people there every day anyway. So I was like, hey, we might as well just start playing shows here and playing
Right.
with people that are here. And this was like right after like the major outbreak. So like,
So were they busting your balls?
well, some people were, but like this was like during the summer, so like everyone was outside anyway.
Right.
Kind of just
The only
like,
place you can go hang out with people.
the only people busting our balls were people on Facebook being like, "Oh my god, I heard you guys play a show." Blah blah. It wasn't that big a deal, but like that's where we started doing these small shows at the skate park, and then they grew to be bigger shows after COVID and stuff. So, yeah, we've kind of gathered a good scene with the skate community and the bands around.
Yeah. When I play the song Dyslexia, right?
Dyslexic. Yeah.
Dyslexic, yeah. You're definitely. I got the, like I said right off the rip. I got the Green Day kind of
Yeah,
vibe
like
to it.
early Green Day, early Blink-182,
Yeah.
like 90s and early 2000s pop punk.
You guys are three piece. You're doing lead guitar or
Yeah,
bass.
I sing and play guitar.
Okay, and then you have a drummer and another guitarist, right?
Just a bass player. Yeah.
Bass player.
Yep.
So you do this video. I think it was for. It wasn't for.
For Best Days.
Yes, and you guys are in a bus.
Yeah, our tour van.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you make it look like you're driving with like a fish line on the steering wheel.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys are all bouncing around on the back of this bus. So,
Yeah, so
how did you how'd you come up with that idea, and how did you actually pull that off in video?
Well, I mean, I've been shooting and editing and directing all of our music videos from the get go. So I feel like every time I had to kind of like step it up a little bit, and that's kind of what that was. Now I have to I have to outdo that, which is gonna be hard. But so when I first thought of it, I was like, like once we got the van, I was like, oh, well, obviously we got to make a video of us like playing in the van. And how funny would it be if there was no one driving and I just had like a string and tied to my guitar and a brick on the gas, and then like we made it look like there's like speakers on the outside, like we're blasting the music out to the neighborhood and just driving around, and like people are shielding their kids' ears and all this like stuff like happens. So a lot of our music videos are kind of in that style where there's kind of like something going on and a bunch of other things happening. If you check our other videos that we've made in the past, you'll see it kind of has like the same formula of Best Days. But I think that's where we kind of really pulled it off and outdid ourselves. And yeah, let me tell you, it was really hard to film because we needed like 2 cars, like the van, someone driving the van, someone like driving next to us and filming the van.
Right.
All these different angles that we had to like figure out and get throughout that whole summer that we were filming it.
How'd you get the dog to chase it?
Yeah, there's a friend of mine. He was.
I was like, this. I always think of the weird things in videos. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no,
that could have taken 100 takes.
It didn't take that long, but what we had to do was he sat in the back of the van with like the door open, the left door open, so at the angle that it was filmed, you couldn't see that the door was open, and he was just sitting there just calling the dog's name while we were driving kind of slow, and the dog would just chase after it. And then we set it up and made it look
right. Really, he was like really racing after you.
The harder shot to shoot was a friend of mine hitting the garbage with a skateboard. Like he hit the jump that was made of garbage or whatever. We shot that one day, and it was like the whole video was like a sunny day, and then right when he landed that trick, it just got cloudy. So we had to go back and do it all over again, and it still wasn't sunny. And I ended up having to edit the video to make it look like a sunny day. I had to make the sky blue, got rid of the clouds, changed all the colors to make it seem like it's more of a yellow overcast, like. And you can't tell until now if you go and look at the video now.
No, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Yeah.
But like I made it good enough to where it looks like a sunny day and it looks like it matches and stuff.
I didn't notice. I'm
actually really happy with how that video came out because it was like a couple months of work that all ended up working out. Like every shot was.
And you do all this yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing all the editing and.
If I'm not in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera filming, and then if I'm in front of the camera, I'll have a friend of mine and I'm directing and still. Micromanaging all of the shots and stuff, and then I'm editing everything and all that stuff.
One thing I've always wondered is it hard to sync up you singing the song, because you're not singing the song's being played through the video, right? The studio version.
Yeah.
And you're now, I don't know if you're lip syncing to it, but you guys are singing the song. So is it hard to go and adjust it back to like line it all up perfectly?
For the most part, not really, because we play it so much that we pretty much play it around the same speed every time. And when we've recorded the song, it's not even...
So is there one full shot of you guys in the back of the van singing the song?
There's like 10 full shots of us singing the whole song, yeah. Like, we had to...
What I mean is like you guys are driving to do the whole song, and then and then you do it again and again and again.
So I have someone just driving, and then someone holding the camera, and then all that's actually happening is the drums are being played, and then we're just like playing our guitars.
Strumming the car, yeah.
And singing to nothing. You can't really hear that. But
right.
We did that like 10 different times and then realized like certain places look better in the background of the, so we had to go somewhere else, or like the sun and like the shadows weren't working right. So we moved the van and drove north, and apparently that worked way better and whatever. So like a bunch of little things we had to figure out like that to make the video look like how I imagined it in my head.
It was pretty cool.
Like that's how every video is made. I'll imagine the whole thing in my head and then we'll go and shoot it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was, what was the name of that song again? I'm sorry.
Best Days.
Best Days. Now we got Dyslexic. Where did you film this?
I was at a little place called Little Lassie.
Yes, I knew it. Because I knew Phil that passed away.
Yeah, Phil was my boy, dude. I used to go there every single day for breakfast, and I've gone there since middle school. So like he was literally my homie, and that's why he let us film the video there. He was like, "Yeah, sure, come by."
Do you know you must know his stepdaughter.
Yeah, we were actually went to kindergarten together.
I'm sorry, her name's
Allie.
Allie, yes. So I used to date Kara, whose aunt is Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Allie's mom.
Yeah. No, I've known her since kindergarten.
Yeah. So I saw the first thing, but then it was so quick, And then I'm like, God, that looks like Lassie's from this side, but I saw you put the scooped up sign out there.
Yeah, I changed the instead. I just edited that. Just made it say.
Yeah. And then at the end, when you guys are pulling out, I saw the coffee sign. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's Little Lassie's.
You know what's
That's awesome.
You know what's crazy though is we shot that video like maybe 8 months before it came out, and it literally came out the day after he passed away, or the day he passed away, or something like that.
Really?
Like the night, like he passed away the night before the video. Like,
And he passed away from
came
COVID.
out. I think so.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, R.I.P. Man, that was a real.
Yeah, Phil. I used to.
That was
I
like
used
the
to
hardest
spend.
working man I've ever met.
He took one day off a year, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That was it.
Literally.
Yep.
And he made like.
He was up at 4 a.m. every morning.
Best breakfast.
Yeah.
Even on his off days, it was still better than any breakfast you'll get around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Anything go on there?
Nope.
Nobody
They
bought
just-
that yet.
Well, he owned that whole plaza.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing they're just
Going
using
through the
that
estate.
building as storage.
Yeah.
And like they're still just taking revenue from all those places that rent that
Yeah.
plaza. You know, there's Papa's and all.
I don't think he drank much, but on the on the holidays, I got him a little.
Oh, yeah?
I used to make limoncello like
Yeah.
from scratch,
Mhm.
and like one Christmas, like you said, he worked so hard, so I think he probably just wants to fucking fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
And I'm like handing him a few. He's like, "Oh, this is pretty good." Next thing I know, he's kind of grabbing the bottle on his own, and then a half hour later, he's snoring on the couch. I said, "All right, I did my job."
That's
Rest in peace, Phil. He was definitely was one of the hardest workers I know,
definitely,
and the food
yeah.
was great.
And he was a Milford staple. That's
Yep.
for sure.
Yep. Too bad. But yeah, so it's cool. You kind of pay homage to the place.
Yeah. No,
You didn't
for
really
sure.
realize it
I
when you
wish
did
I-
it, but
if I knew,
Yeah.
if I dropped the video anytime later, I would have put in loving memory of Phil.
Right,
Now I'm
right.
think of it, but it literally came out the day that he passed away, and it was already set in stone like a month before that. Like it
Yeah.
had to come out that day because of
right,
everything.
just right.
That's how you release music. You gotta like,
Right.
put it in stone a month beforehand so that Spotify picks up all the algorithmic shit. There's a whole thing behind it, but
Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet either.
so it was just super tricky and weird how that happened, and I felt weird kind of like posting it the same day, but I had to. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's not like anybody gave me any grief about it, but I just
Right,
it was
I mean,
just really
yeah.
weird. It was a weird
Yeah.
feeling, you know.
That was a great. So I'll play it right now. So this is Dyslexic. Now, obviously, we can follow you at Scooped Up on YouTube.
Mhm.
Where else?
Just scooped up everywhere. You go
Yeah.
to scoopedupband.com, poopedup.com, mgksucks.com. That's all our website.
MGKsucks.com.
I broke my dick.com. Can we swear on this?
You absolutely.
Yeah, I broke my dick.com.
Yeah.
That's our website. And then scoopedupband.com. I think I said that already.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of websites just in case.
Yeah, so I went to YouTube and I this is where I watched the video, but this is where this is the one that was filmed at. So you can see the video itself on your page on YouTube and all sorts of other, like you said,
Yeah,
.coms.
on our website. Yeah.
What was it? MGK, like Machine Gun Kelly?
mgksucks.com.
Yeah,
I
he
made that-
certainly does.
I made that right when he was blowing up, and dude, we got like that was the cheapest piece of promo I've ever made because I just made that website domain and then I posted it in this Facebook group, like this pop punk Facebook group.
Yeah.
And it went ballistic. I got like 7,000 website views because everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's the funniest thing," or blah blah. Like I just,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, like that pop punk group was just filled with MGK shit that whole week or two, or month, or a couple months when he was releasing those pop punk like albums or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I made mgksucks.com, it was just so polarizing because half the people in that group hated him, half the people loved the shit out of him. So everyone was just like,
Right.
"Oh, it's so funny."
Oh, you just create a fucking shitstorm
yeah,
in there.
and everyone checked out Scooped Up. So
And, yeah, well, yeah, that's perfect. Like this is what I don't get. Like I watch sports. I'm a big sports guy, and it was last year, not this past year, the year before, the All-Star games for NHL and NBA, and he did the halftimes on both.
Oh really?
And like imagine these NHL fans are like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I
and
know.
like no one's paying attention. You can see the frustration in his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a whole show, I think.
Well, they dumped a lot of money into his career, you know, his label or whatever.
Yeah.
But they made a ton of money back. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure.
You know?
There's always people that listen to all
He was
sorts
like
of stuff.
the guy for like a year.
Yeah. All right. So here is Scooped Up with Dyslexic. You can hear. I'll do about 30 seconds here, and then you can check out the music video on YouTube or their website. Here we go.
much get all the song. They're so short.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like a minute 48. That one.
Most
Yeah.
of our songs are like a minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Or like a minute and a half. 2 minutes is like the top.
Yeah. Oh, you could I totally get, like you said, the Green Day and the Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
You got a good voice for that genre for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, did you just pick up guitar and you get lessons, or are you one of those
No,
savants that just kind of can pick something up and learn how to play?
That's pretty much how I learned every skill that I have, like whether it's art or filmmaking or whatever, photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically just picked up the guitar. I borrowed my friend's guitar one day, and then I started just like learning songs that I liked. Blink-182, Green Day, Good Charlotte, random.
Good
90s.
Charlotte. Oh, nice call there.
Yeah,
Good
I
Charlotte.
don't know, like MXPX, any of those
MGK.
bands. Yeah, MGK didn't exist back then. So yeah, it was like 2015. I just borrowed my friend's guitar, started learning some shit, and then just started picking up like how these songs were kind of like they kind of are similar in a way, and then I just started writing my own songs in that same type of like style.
Right.
And then eventually, I jammed with some people that also sucked as bad as I did, but we had fun and I got the itch, and I was like, oh, this is sick. I actually want to maybe do this a lot more. And then I ended up hitting up a friend of mine who I've known for a couple of years.
My bad.
No worries. And I realized that I remember that he was like a really good drummer, and so me and him jammed one day, and from there basically we clicked, and that's my drummer Jesse that we've been jamming since then. It's been like 7 years almost, but yeah, from there he got me to be a way better guitar player than I ever was because he was such a good drummer that it literally just like rubbed off. Being able to play with someone who's on time all the time just helps you, one, play on time, but also like get up to speed and just like now you're just the only one that has to like not mess up basically.
Yeah, I think that's a good life lesson, to be honest with you. Like,
if you want to learn anything, do something
with someone that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly, because it's just gonna.
I golf. I love golfing with guys that are better than me. Not only do I watch them and study like how they prep and swing, but I'm never afraid to have a pointer.
Yeah,
like I'm very
it's just
teachable.
Rub off on you eventually. I heard this really good saying, and I'm not gonna remember it right now, but it was like something just like that, where if you're working with someone that's just so much better than you, that's like a pro already at something that you want to get good at, that like it's just gonna rub off on you because you're not gonna get worse. If you're
right.
Say you're playing
just match their work ethic, and then things will go from there.
Say you're jamming with people that suck, like you're just gonna be like showing off and not really getting better because you're already way better than these people that suck. So like, how you're not gonna push yourself to get better. But if you're the worst person in the room, you gotta fucking get your chops up.
Right. Right.
With anything,
Right.
Like I used to do graffiti art and spray paint art, and that's where I started doing a lot of my just becoming an artist, I guess, and started this whole journey. It all started when I just started doing graffiti. Basically, I like to just. That's like
my brother was a graffiti
artist. My whole
I wouldn't say artist, but he liked to do graffiti.
But yeah, so like
in my father's basement, still there.
When you paint with people who suck, like you're not going to get much better. But if you paint with people that are better than you, it's gonna rub off, and you're gonna start painting better whenever. And you have to like get your chops up and be right. If you want to be respected around in the graffiti community or whatever.
Do you have any local graffiti that you could tell me off air where it might be?
Yeah, well, actually, back in the day, you remember the Simpsons mural that used to be in Devon, right across the street from Hair of the Dog. Before Hair of the Dog existed, there was a big Simpsons mural. I painted that back in the day.
It was on the other side of the street or behind the Hair of the Dog.
So it's not like there's a Star Cafe across the street. So it's not there. It's the
Irish Club now.
Irish Club now, but it's it's the Bohemian High that's there now.
Oh, okay.
It used to be the shoe store.
Yeah.
And they hired me to paint this whole Simpsons mural, which actually was there for a year or two, and then they sold the place and someone painted over it, and then whatever. But
how do you paint over a Simpsons mural?
I know, yeah.
That's fucking Americana right there.
One of the biggest murals I've ever done. Yeah, I've been painting for over since 2009, so like 14 years, and
half your life.
Yeah, and like it started off by just doing like graffiti and just writing my name on stuff, but then I eventually just started to just do just art, stuff that people can like look at the wall and be like, oh, that's a bird, or this is that, instead of being able looking at a tag and being like, I can't read that.
Yeah,
that does nothing for me. You know what I mean? So like I started moving into just doing that, like making more murals and stuff like that. So I didn't do.
Do you have a catch, like a So I grew up in Philly for a little while, and Philly's like the graffiti capital of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would take the train into the city from the suburbs, and it was just graffiti the whole way. And my brother he's 5 years older than me, so I was really young. But he just gravitated towards it.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to New York City, I see all the graffiti on the way there.
But I always saw recurring
tags and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a tag or something that?
Yeah, I used to write "Life's a Trip" everywhere.
Yeah.
And that was like my tag or whatever. And then it was scooped up for a little while. And then I've had other tags and stuff that I've done more illegal stuff with that I just rather not.
No, that's fine.
But yeah.
The show's not flagged, I don't think, anyway.
Yeah. But and that was 10 years ago. But I eventually evolved into just doing more mural stuff and just doing paintings that I like to do. And
Yeah.
just kind of, I don't know. Just I eventually got better to where I was able to just paint anything that I can really think of, and instead of having to do letters and stuff, which it's hard to do letters if you really try to do it. Making really good graffiti looking letters, it takes a while to learn that, and this goes back to painting with people that are better than you. You want to learn these techniques from somewhere,
I never I could hand draw, but I could never do it with spray paint. My brother was really talented at it. I couldn't do it. It's an art. It really is.
No, yeah, it just takes a little bit of can control. Once you get good with the can, it's the cool thing about it is you can always paint over. So if you mess something up, you just take the color that's under it, just cut that, and do it again,
right?
Do it again. With certain art forms, you can't really do that, or you have to erase, so you see the eraser marks and whatever,
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about painting is you can always just go over it until it's perfect.
So I also watched another video you sent me. It was almost like a collage of shorts, comedic shorts, and I was literally I just my family went to bed. I put my fucking AirPods in and I listened to them, and I was laughing out loud.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You have a similar dark sense of humor that I really appreciate, that I kind of have. So it was right up my alley.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been doing forever is making just making videos with my friends and just making joke videos or whatever. So this January, I gave myself the challenge to make a video every day. So every day of January, I would wake up with no ideas and I would just improvise a little short film, and they'd usually be a couple minutes or whatever, or 2 minutes. And with that challenge, it was really cool because I wouldn't have made any of these videos ever. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to do it or came up with this idea. It was having this weight on my shoulder to oh shit, I just woke up and I don't have any ideas yet. I have to sit there and come up with an idea. A lot of the times my best ideas I come up with right when I'm still laying in bed.
Yep.
I'm not awake yet, but I'm not asleep, but I'm still just laying there in the morning, for a half hour or whatever, whenever people do that. That's usually when I just come up with my best ideas, and I'm just I'll jump out of bed and be oh, that's it, and I'll write it down or whatever. And like milk ice, I just thought of that random stupid idea when I was just laying there sleeping I'm just milk ice, what the fuck? And then I just wrote that down, and then
you went right to the fridge and froze some milk.
Literally, I was this is gonna take 6 hours. I gotta 5 hours to freeze this milk. I came up with that the night before at 3 a.m. So I literally did get up, put milk in the ice tray, and then in the ashtray, and then I put it in the freezer and woke up the next day, and they were good enough to be icicles. It was it wasn't long enough. It probably should have been there for another 2 more hours, but
whatever.
It was good enough to work.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, that was what's cool about that challenge is I've done this once before. I think it was a year ago. I can't remember. It was either a year ago or a year before that. Where I did the same thing. In January, I did a video every single day for 30 days, and it was just really. It was a really cool experience and a really cool practice on video editing and just comedy in general.
Right.
And just making content. Even though a lot of those videos never got any views, some of them would get 100 views or 200 views.
Right.
I go back to this day and I watch those videos I made that year and I forget I even made them, and I just crack myself up just watching them because I'm oh my god.
Well, the funny thing with that though is you could just repost them.
Yeah.
You get one of them that hits, then you go okay, and then you go and repost it again.
Well, here's the thing.
Instead of people trying to go back into your site.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping one day they'll just blow up and people will just go and watch them all. Back in the day, I've had my YouTube channel since 2007, and I've literally. I was always it was always quality over quantity, and I was always watching these people just posting and trying to be big on YouTube, but I never I always wanted to be big on YouTube in a sense, but I never posted a lot of shit, and I would make stuff here and there, and that's what I'd rather do instead of push myself to make stuff all the time. That stuff imagine if I had that challenge every day for a year.
Right.
those videos would have eventually sucked. Or
Right.
whatever. But it was before that I was way more into quality over quantity, and then eventually I was just like, let me give myself this challenge and see what comes out, and that's
Well, that's kind of how I look at my, obviously I'm, almost 50, but I get where it needs to grow, the show.
Mhm.
But I'm still in that middle ground where I'm like, I want to produce more reels and this and that, but I almost feel like maybe this is because me. So
Well, nowadays it's different. Nowadays
Right.
it's kind of more
oversaturated
quantity.
in quantity.
Nowadays it's easier to make the quality part of it.
Yeah.
And so you can oversaturate yourself in a sense with pretty decent quality stuff. It depends on what it is that you're doing too. If you're just doing, say you're just reporting on everything that's happening, that's easy to come up with content.
Right, yeah.
But, like,
It's daily stuff, right.
But improv and comedy, and eventually, like, you'll get worn out. Or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, so like my point is like I take it from my standpoint of what I follow and what I watch. Like I follow some Instagram accounts that it's like every day and I'm like quick like floop right by.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah. After
awesome,
a while, yeah.
So like I'll do 2 or 3, maybe 4 a week depending if I'm doing so. I have the one Instagram page, right? So I just do my show through it and then I do like I went golfing the other day and I'll post something about my roundup at TPC. Stuff like that. But I think you're right, it's turning the page now. It's like that's how I can't look at it to how I feel.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what you're trying to grow.
Because I don't have the attention span like kids, like my girlfriend's son's 13.
No one has attention span.
But he just
Yeah. No, that's messed up. That's what the apps
Right.
are designing.
Right.
It's messed
It's
up.
fucked up.
But no, it really matters on what you're trying to grow. Because, like, on the other hand, like, I'm talking about my personal YouTube channel here.
Right.
That I'm talking about, like, my quality over quantity. And that's just, like, my comedy and all that shit. But with Scooped Up, like, I push that shit all the time, year round. I'm always, like, making content for that or posting about what we're doing and whatever, trying to grow that in a fluid way that you would want to do. Like, if I don't post for too long, people are gonna forget about us or whatever,
Right.
So you want to
Agreed.
stay,
Yeah,
relevant,
right. Stay relevant. Yep.
So like with Scooped Up, I'm trying to grow that as a band, and that's more of a thing where you can post a lot of shit because I can just make a bunch of joke videos about whatever's happening. Like in 2 weeks, we're opening for Mest at this band Mest at Space Ballroom in Hamden, and I made this short promo video where I was just making jokes about the other bands we're playing with and just kind of bringing awareness to the show, but also making jokes and kind of making like a funny video about it. Same thing with the Shoreline Summer Festival that we played at the Beer Axe 2 weeks ago. I was making all these reels and stuff, kind of just just bringing awareness and kind of hyping up the show. Like I had a friend of mine pretend he was like a bum, and I was like, "What's up, man?" Like those videos where they go up to people and they're like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" And they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, not doing too good. Lost my job or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, well, here you go.
Here's
I wanted
$1,000.
to give you this." Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gave him my Shoreline ticket, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? I'm hungry or whatever." So like stuff like that. Like I made a couple of videos where I'm just like spoofing random shit and bringing awareness to whatever's happening with the band at the time. So that's like something that I do all the time too.
Are there any like specific themes or I don't know, like messages you try to convey through your music? Is it personal? Is it just kind of what pops into your head?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's more. We're not really that.
Like, are you
serious.
dyslexic?
No. It's mostly that's like this line from the song. It's like it was just a line in the song, and then I thought it'd be good to name the song that. But I guess I might be a little dyslexic, but I make jokes about it too. Like I'll be like, this next song is about how I can't read or write. Or,
Yeah.
But yeah, our songs we're not really that serious when it comes to writing music. Really, like if you listen to some of our songs, there's a lot of joke songs, especially on our first album. We have a song called like "Skip This Song." It's like 15 seconds, and it's just like this stupid song. And then we have like a couple like especially on our first album we have a bunch of like joke songs. Our new album actually has no joke songs.
Oh, really?
But yeah, we're still not very serious. And we don't really have much of a message or nothing really. It's mostly every song is kind of sends its own message or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Best Days is self-explanatory. It's talking about like these are the best days.
Yeah.
When people say that these are the best days of your life, another line I say in the video is or in the song is one day I'll learn to compromise. It's kind of like I'd rather just carry that notion throughout all of your life that every day is the best day. Like your whole as long as you're waking up, you're having the best day, and like there is no best days or whatever. I mean, each song kind of like has its own meaning in a way from like that.
How do you feel about AI in music?
It sucks. Well, I mean, for one, I've tried, I've just for fun, I've gone and been like, yo, AI, write me a pop punk song. And it's always the worst garbage
Yeah.
you've ever fucking read. I mean, the only thing, like,
I mean, as far as like,
there was like that Drake song written by AI.
right, was he a whole album? I think, right?
Yeah.
Something
Well, here's
crazy.
the thing with AI. Like, who the hell is gonna seriously listen to a song that was produced only by a computer and by AI and like feel cool about that? Like, you have to be a freaking dork to fucking be like, oh
Right.
yeah, I only listen to AI Drake or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are such music snobs now that they're like, oh, I know this one band that you fucking never heard of, and like, if you don't listen to them, then you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, those people aren't gonna be like, oh, well, now I listen to AI, and if you don't listen, you know what I mean? There's no way.
Okay,
It's
so
like some-
I have a different direction in mind though.
Okay. I hear
I,
it.
I feel I don't think people are going to be like that. Like, I mean, there may be some dorks like that, but I mean, like, where it comes to the point where you can't tell the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you go to like a house show, like a DJ show, and I don't. Maybe these guys aren't even like telling you like where they're, you know.
But that's different. I could totally see AI just making the like house music or like just dubstep music or whatever.
Right,
like,
right.
But a voice and melody and lyrics and feeling and all that, like, it takes, right now at least, it still takes a human to produce something that I as a human, I'm gonna like resonate with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if a computer wrote some shit, like, and I don't know, I guess if you gave me some music and you didn't tell me that it was AI written, and then it was just mad good, and then you told me, I'd be like, fuck.
Right. That's yeah.
But still, I don't know. I think there right now.
Like, there's one DJ that plays like an Eminem song that was just an AI Eminem song.
Well, right now at least, I think it's still kind of on the border of, you can kind of tell, or like when they do tell you, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, now I see that it probably was like the voice does sound a little computer generated now, whatever. But
Right.
give it 5 years, you won't even be able to tell.
That's what I'm getting at. Like,
But will they be able to write good songs? I don't know. We'll see. And like, is it the shit that I'm gonna want to listen to?
right. Because I'm assuming they're gathering, like, AI is gathering all its information from past songs or related genres and all this
It would
stuff.
have
Maybe
to
incorporating current events.
It would have to be an AI artist that is completely AI. Like, their image is all computer
Right.
generated, and they're this brand new voice and a brand new persona, and they're making this music, like,
Right.
which that's right around the corner, honestly. But like, being like, oh, here's a new Drake album, it's all AI made, and this guy, this asshole made it. It's not Drake. It's just some asshole who typed in fucking Drake,
Mm-hmm.
into Drake prompts into
Yeah.
like the AI thing. You know what I mean? Like, if it's good, yeah, some people will like it, but some people are still gonna be like, oh, well, that's not like. I need to latch onto the artist and like where they're coming from and blah blah or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's more like of a lore behind musicians and artists that attract people.
Oh,
and
of course.
That's what AI can't really do.
Right.
You know.
Same with acting. You know, like,
I
you're going to
guarantee
have
you,
a
though,
CGI Tom Cruise or a real Tom Cruise.
yeah, that's crazy. That's right around the corner too.
Right.
Yeah, like and already there's no big. If you think about it, like back in the '90s, early 2000s, there's these huge mega stars. You know, all the Tom Cruises and the Brad Pitts and shit. Who of this past decade are mega stars like that? That like everything's on so many different platforms and
Right.
TikTok and Hulu and Netflix, and no one's watching fucking Channel 24 on their TVs anymore. You know what I mean?
I think a great point to that is the last Indiana Jones movie that came out. Now, I grew up on Star Wars and Indiana Jones
Didn't
and
that flop?
Harrison Ford. Yeah, The Sounds of Freedom beat them out. That was the story about the child trafficking.
Oh yeah.
Literally beat them out in the box office.
Mm.
And
See,
I don't really necessarily put it on. You know, a lot of people said had a woke feel to it. I just put it on like, this generation doesn't know who the fucking Indiana Jones is, and they don't know who Harrison Ford is.
No, that's true.
He's 75 years old.
Yeah.
They had to CGI his face for the movie to make him look younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet.
You know, so Tom Cruise
I
is
would
in
go
his
watch that
60s.
movie, but I just missed it. I don't really go to the movies that much.
Yeah.
And I
No one
think
goes
you-
anymore.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
just- everyone's stuck on their phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got the entertainment.
Half the
right
shit
here.
goes right to your TV too. Like, you just it's like HBO Max or, you
I feel
know.
like people aren't bored anymore. Back in the day, people used to be bored as hell.
Now, right. Now, to your point, who's the last wave of movie stars?
Oh yeah.
At
it was
what
those
age?
It was those early 2000s, like 2000.
Like, Keanu Reeves is probably the tail end of what we're, You know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise is almost done. Harrison Ford should be done.
Yeah.
All those action, I say action heroes. Like Idris Elba, who I really like, is probably in his 50s. Not that these guys ever stop acting, but
No, you're right. All like the
what's
great,
the young guys? Who are the young guys?
It's like the recent Spider-Man actors. That's pretty much it.
Right? Like I didn't know what that is. Well, he's black, wasn't
Tom
he?
Holland. No, not him.
Oh, that was
like
the-
Tom Holland and like and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's I honestly I don't really watch a lot of TV or movies nowadays. Like. Or play video games for that matter. Like I used to consume a lot of shit back in the day, but
Yeah.
nowadays it's like from sitting around vegging watching TV, it's like, oh, I should be playing the guitar and writing shit, or like
Right.
wasting time. You know,
Right.
I should be creating. And when I don't, I beat myself up. So that's why I don't really. That's why I didn't see the new Indiana Jones movie. That's something I would have saw if I was a kid, or if I didn't have endless scrolling in my pocket,
Right.
and I was just sitting there bored for a little while. I would have been like, okay, let's go watch the Indiana Jones movie.
Last night I was sitting around before I even got to the content you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just on my phone, I'm playing a game, or I go on Instagram and watching reels, and I'm like, I had like 4 things I wanted to do before I even got to you.
Yeah.
Like I had an email I needed to write, I had some other stuff I had
Yeah.
to do, I had something I had to send out, and I'm just like, well, it's fucking 10 o'clock.
No, it's insane.
It even consumes us adults. It's like,
It's insane. No, because I remember thinking about this a little while ago. Like when I was a kid, I remember being like insanely bored, out of my mind, bored out of my mind. I can't remember the last time I've been like that.
Yeah.
Because you could easily at any moment pick this up, and now you're not bored anymore. You know what I mean? At least you're still like. Eventually it gets boring, and then like you know what I mean you'll stop.
well,
scrolling.
like
But that's after you've scrolled for an hour.
Braden, my girlfriend's son, he's 13. So he'll be on his Xbox talking to his buddies, playing whatever, GTA or baseball. He'll literally like come out of his room and he'll like look around and he'll be like, all right, I'm going to go play on my computer.
Yeah.
And he goes and plays on the computer.
Mhm.
And he gets tired of that. He sits down on the couch, plays on his phone. I'm like, go outside and hit some golf balls. Like, throw the ball around. Go take a bike ride.
Those things aren't as instantly gratifying.
When I was a kid,
as
I was never in the house when I was a kid.
Me too.
Ever.
Yeah.
And it was
Same
just,
with me. I was out
it's-
fucking just getting into shit.
And I equate it to 2 things. Technology and COVID. Like,
Yeah.
and you mixed them all together for 2+ years.
Yeah. No. That's
And
100%.
it's hard to disingrain them. And like hopefully when they get a little older and like when he's in high school, he'll be playing more sports.
Yeah.
But
Dude, COVID was a big reset button on everybody. We like my band. It sucked for a year and a
Yeah.
half not being able. Like all the shows we had booked, canceled. For a year and a half or 2 years, we couldn't play any shows, any real shows. That's why we had to start doing them at the skate park or whatever.
yeah,
And like, just think about like we didn't like imagine anybody that's in the entertainment business. You don't even know when you're gonna have your job back. You know what I mean?
right.
Like that, sucked. And
I felt real bad for the bands. Like we tried to get a couple in. This is how retarded this time was.
Mhm.
Like during COVID, like that first summer, like we were lucky at Stonebridge because we had all that outdoor space.
yeah.
And when we brought a solo act in, a kid that played there a lot,
Mhm.
we put him in front of the pizza kitchen window.
Yeah.
You know, because we couldn't even do the pizza kitchen. So we just had him there, not near a table. And like the health department came in and says, the musicians need 12 feet, not 6, because they're singing. Well, what about the bitch that's screaming at table 5 over here?
Yeah, right.
Her spit's flying. Like just, I want everyone to just go back 3 years tonight
dude, it
and just
was
remember like
so
one
dumb.
specific thing where you were like, this is so
It
stupid.
was so stupid, dude. Don't even get me started. I'm just glad that it's over. That it's.
But I almost feel like that's what like the government's like. Oh, everyone's just like, okay, it's over. They feel better now. It's like,
wait till we do it again. Like literally.
all right. Here's one for you. Are you vaccinated?
No.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm very
Why would
happy
I-
for you.
Why would I do that?
Right. Neither am
I'm
I.
young, but it's like, but Phil, R.I.P., wasn't vaccinated either.
Right.
And I don't know.
There might be that older demographic for it, sure, but we're gonna dive into sports for a half a second. And LeBron James's son just had a heart attack on a basketball court. 19 years old.
He's vaxxed,
I'm guessing he's LeBron James's kid.
and everyone's saying the vaxes, start.
Right.
getting
I mean,
blood
DeMar
clots and all
Hamlin
this
for the
shit.
Bills last year. Soccer players are dying in droves.
There was this dude I was reading about on Instagram. He was like a bodybuilder and shit.
Yeah.
And he was like he was getting blood work done all the time, and then he had to get the vaccine, and then he got blood work again. They found like metals in his shit
Yeah.
or whatever. They had to like clean his blood out.
Yeah, they had to like
They had
yeah.
to literally take his blood out and like put it through a machine and it goes
Yeah.
back into whatever. And he literally died a couple months later, still from like heart attack and shit.
It's
I don't know if it's
LeBron
not,
James
but
is
it's
probably
a mixture of his
right.
of his body
and whatever other shit he was taking. Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
LeBron James is one of the most physically gifted, almost like godlike fucking bodies I've ever seen in a basketball player.
Yeah.
His son is 19, playing at USC for 1 year, going to be in the pros.
He had a heart attack?
He had a heart attack. What's today? Wednesday. On Monday, at a practice, a pickup game or something.
Yeah, that's insane.
Survived. They brought him to the hospital. There has not been an update since. See, this to me, I hope the kid a speedy recovery. I hope he's able to play basketball, but more importantly, just enjoy life. You got your life in front of you. Your father's LeBron. You never have to worry about money.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's a young stallion like that. Shouldn't be freaking.
Why is this quelled? Why is this not? No one knows about this. Like, it made a couple headlines. Not even headlines. It was like third or fourth story of the day on ESPN. The only show that talked about it was PTI right off the rip. Every other show, it was like a side fucking story.
Dude, the news is so fucked right now.
Because they don't want this shit out.
They don't, yeah. Well,
And LeBron's a part of that engine. He's part of that media machine. He's like, all right, let's keep this private. Maybe it was the vax. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying.
Well, think about this. Like, everyone used to watch the news on TV, and it's like, oh, maybe they're getting money from lobbyists and shit to fucking, push one agenda than the other.
Yeah.
But, like, nowadays, most people are getting their news from Instagram accounts. Like, scrolling through Instagram, and you see, like, the randomest Instagram account that has, like, 30 million followers now, posting news articles all day, every day. Are those people getting paid by people? Like, no duh they are.
Right.
Like, there's
Yeah.
without a question.
Yeah.
How hard is it to get to DM someone and be like, blah, blah, here's some money, fucking post this, whatever. Like, is it even a question? Like, back in the day, we were questioning if, the news is, has one agenda or the other. But, like, nowadays, everyone's getting all their shit from just scrolling and seeing one little, like, meme-looking post. And they could say anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, you could read something on Twitter, or X, now that it's called. And it's funny, like, as a human, you read something, and your initial thought is it's true.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's initially.
And that's what's funny is I saw one the other day where it's just like...
and that's what's dangerous.
It was like scientists concluded that dinosaurs are extinct.
Oh, really?
Just picture the dinosaurs. And it's like, oh no, fuck. And like, yeah, literally, you're just like, oh shit. You're 100% right. And when you read something,
You just kind of initially, your first thought is, you were born reading books and you just thought everything, newspapers, you thought everything was truthful.
I literally had this same thought.
And it works on both sides of the aisle, too.
I had the same thought today. You believe more, like back in the day when there was just the news, there was just TV and all that shit, and like just the internet news websites, whatever. It was way more believable back then because they were like the trusted sources or whatever, quote unquote. Now the trusted sources all over the place. It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's all these different places that are just anybody who has a big account can be a trusted source. They can post anything.
Or blue check mark. You buy a blue check mark and people think whatever you say is
it's so easy to look
reality.
through that shit now and be like, oh, this is bullshit. But like now, think back to 20 years ago when it was all being force fed through the television. How bullshit was that? It's the same thing.
Yep.
It's the same thing as the scrolling thing you're putting in your pocket.
Any
but it's on
war
TV.
coverage or just like it is now with Ukraine.
Exactly.
Like, no, you
All
can't
that
trust
shit.
any of that shit.
Dude, all of history has just been written by the winners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that goes on forever.
Yeah.
It's the winners are the people with the most money.
Yep.
You know.
It's not hard. It's not hard. But it's weird.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to run down some stories of the week. You may, if you want to chime in, if you know a little about it. If you don't want to, no biggie.
Yeah.
But the story of the day is Hunter Biden. He thought he was all set to get a plea deal and have no jail time and 2 years probation for tax evasion and all this other stuff is going to come. But I guess the shit hit the fan at the courthouse today and the plea deal's gone, so he had to plead not guilty, and it looks like it's going to trial, which is not what the president wanted or anybody on that side of the aisle, so that should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I heard he had like a laptop or some shit. With a bunch of shit
Yeah,
on
well,
it.
that was
That was a long time ago.
yeah, that was his cocaine infested
I always
hooker.
mix him up, and I mix him and Nicolas Cage's son, or no, Mel Gibson. No, fuck. Who's the guy that was in Saving Private Ryan?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks'
Yeah.
son. I always mix him up and Tom Hanks' son for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks' son is like this drug addict rapper.
He has two
like,
kids.
Oh.
He has Colin, who's the actor, and then he has the other one that's all
like this
fucked up. Yeah,
like, drug
yeah.
addict, and whatever reason, I just like put two and two together. Like they should be friends. Like Hunter Biden and Tom Hanks' son, Chet
Yeah.
Hanks, is that his name?
I don't even know.
But they should be friends. For whatever reason, I mixed them up.
They probably are. They're probably all on fucking Epstein Island together.
Right?
Women's soccer tonight, USA women. They're going for their second win in the U.S. or the World Cup. I think they're playing the Netherlands tonight. And I don't care. So on to the next topic. Twitter, we just mentioned it, is becoming X now. It's like a rebrand. I don't know where this is all going. I don't really care, but
you know why? They're probably trying to grab all the people that are trying to go to like xvideos.com. It's like x.com.
I strangely know what that is.
I don't know what that is. I just heard of it. I don't know.
Good call. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't
maybe.
know. I have no idea.
Somebody posted a meme of like a picture of Musk when he was like in his 20s. Sitting at like an Apple computer, and it had a big X on. No, it had a big X on the screen.
Oh.
And they're thinking, oh, maybe this is like coming for a full circle. And
well, think about this: how much do you think X.com costs? He must have dished out money for that.
Yeah.
That domain name.
Oh yeah.
Dude, people want fucking $50,000 for ScoopedUp.com. That's why we have all these other websites.
Really?
That ScoopedUp.com was taken, so we did PookedUp.com and then ScoopedUpBand.com and whatever. But
I just, by the way, a little plug for myself. I got daydrinkingwithdog.com. www. Yeah, it's I didn't have to not, but no one had that.
No one
had that.
Surprisingly, JimmyBarbetti.com wasn't taken either.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
also my website too. But yeah, no, when I tried to get ScoopedUp.com, the guy was like, "I'm not taking nothing less than what was it, 6 figures or some shit, or 5 figures. What was it? 5 figures.
Yeah. So
Tens
$10,000.
Tens of thousands of dollars is what he wanted. I
I
was like, okay. So
yeah.
I like emailed him, I'm like, I'll give you $100, and he's like, nah, dude. He I guess he's expecting some big ice cream company to open up.
Right. Yeah, some national chain.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tupac, I mentioned him last week in the news. So this is the update today. Thanks to my boy Drew, who sent me this to me just a little while ago. Real quick, on Monday, Las Vegas police raided a home in Henderson for possible connections. 11 .40 caliber bullets were recovered from the home in Henderson where #Keef D had been living about 20 miles south of the Strip. The bullets have been sent to a lab to determine if they match the ones pulled from Shakur's body.
Why would he still have a bunch of bullets 20 years later?
That's what I thought. Yeah, like you said, like trophies. Are they
this?
trophies?
How long ago was this?
Oh fuck! It was 1996, 97.
Yeah, dude, that's like.
We're pushing 30 years almost.
That was a long time ago.
You know his boys are coming over like, that one got Tupac.
Yeah.
That one got Tupac.
He's like, oh, I happen to have guns and bullets.
And all these idiots turn on each other, so it was only a matter of time.
I couldn't believe that those are the same bullets or the same, like, I couldn't believe that they would match up or whatever.
I don't,
maybe,
yeah,
I guess, but like,
maybe.
why would you have the same shit from 30 years ago?
Criminals aren't smart.
He's probably got new ones.
Criminals are not smart. Like, they're going to know. The cops, I mean, if they're pulling these casings, they know they're not new casings. They got to be fucking old. Like, these casings aren't the same as they were back then. I'm not a really big gun guy, but I'm just...
I don't know. You would think, right?
Right. I don't know. A couple sports minutes. One of my favorite Bruins of all time retired yesterday, Patrice Bergeron, 19 years in the NHL. 19 years is a long career to get fucking hit on the ice. Won one Stanley Cup, will probably go to the Hall of Fame. Kind of sucks he's gone, but congratulations to him. And then on the other side of the coin in Boston, Jaylen Brown signs a 5-year contract worth $300 million. That's $60 million a year he's going to get.
Wow.
And he's not the best player in the team. So,
Damn.
damn.
They need to be paying that.
So that's going to throw me right into a quick little topic, and you can jump in on this. The Saudis. So have you heard about the golf thing they've had? So I know you're probably not a big golf guy, but there's the PGA Tour.
Okay.
And then there's the Live Tour that the Saudis started. And they plucked a bunch of the high-end golfers from the PGA and gave them like fucking $500 million contracts. Just to come and play. That's not even the purses they win if they win.
Do they have non-compete?
Yep, all that stuff.
So
but now, though, they have since merged back. So it lasted 1 year. They merged. So everyone's going to be back together next year.
Oh. Okay.
But they just offered, I'm not a soccer guy. I think his name's Mbappe. He's from France. The Saudis offered him $772 million to play 1 year in Saudi League. Almost $1 billion to play fucking soccer.
For 1 year?
For 1 year. Just a 1 year contract.
That's insane.
Insane. And he actually turned it down. He doesn't want to be part of the Saudis and their fucking terrible human rights shit.
I wish there was an Olympics for musicians, or like a Super Bowl for musicians.
I wish I could be an unrestricted free agent in bartending. Like, fucking can someone sign me to like a 1 year, $2 million contract?
Yeah,
I won't even take tips.
That's what I'm saying.
I won't take tips.
There should be a battle of the bands that's
Right.
as televised as the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then just pay the bands.
Yeah.
I would do it.
So my fear is this is going to trickle into the major sports.
It could.
Basketball, they're trying to build a team in Vegas. No one owns it yet. I mean, what if they say, it's gonna be $6 billion? What if the Saudis come in? I'm like, we'll give you 20, and then we're gonna buy every fucking best player. Like, I just think they could be. They don't have a spending limit.
They got
the
the
Saudis.
walking around money.
Yeah. And they want to get involved in sports. So that's 2 sports they're involved in, and they're trying to creep into some others. So
What about their own?
check back on that in like 1 or 2 years.
Are
We'll
they
see
getting
where
their own players in there too?
they don't have any.
Really?
Not really.
Yeah.
No. No. Where am I? We did Sinead O'Connor. We did all that. All right. So we're going to finish. Actually, no, one more. Do you ever heard of Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what happened with Aaron Hernandez?
No, a friend of mine. What team does he play for?
Well, he played for the Patriots, and he murdered somebody,
Oh, man.
and then he went to prison, and then he
Oh.
killed himself in prison.
Oh.
He's from Bristol, Connecticut.
I didn't know this.
So he had a brother, DJ, that played at UConn. He was a quarterback for UConn. This is all in late 2009, somewhere in that area, 15 years ago.
I had a friend who always talked about that guy though.
Yeah. Aaron was a great football player, but he literally killed the guy because the guy like bumped him in a club and spilled his drink. That kind of gangster
Did he
lifestyle.
get away with it? Like, was it?
No, they found the body, and he had a house outside of Boston, and they found a body in
He
like
murdered the guy. It wasn't like a fight.
executed him style.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, get on your knees and shot his head.
Damn,
No joke.
that's nuts.
Got cleared of 2 other murders,
You know what's
but
crazy? Sorry to sidetrack, but
Yeah.
we're playing with this band Mess on Friday. The
Yeah.
singer of Mess back in the day, he like fought a guy after at a bar or some shit, killed the guy, got away with it, self-defense. So
all right.
depends on where you are. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Well, I mean, this guy had a gun to the back of the guy's head.
Yeah, that's not
So I mean, he got caught immediately by the Patriots. Long story short, went to jail. Had another 2 murder rap that he went to court for, beat it, and killed himself like the next day. And he only killed himself because, well, I can't say only, but there was some clause that if he died, then the conviction of the first murder is null and void within a year because the witness is dead. And not the witness, the accused, and he could still he could support his family. Like, he can get life insurance money, he can get all this crazy shit. It's just some weird Massachusetts loophole, right?
Huh.
So his brother DJ, good guy, ended up coaching at like Iowa or something college, moves out to Texas, and it's like, I read this article like fucking 7-8 years ago. Moves out to Texas, either started a roofing company or started to work with some guy in a roofing company, and his name's DJ, but he went by John, the second letter of it, John Hernandez, to try to stay out of the spotlight, right? Well, apparently about 4 months ago, he got arrested in Connecticut for driving by ESPN headquarters and throwing a brick through a window with a message on it that said, like, basically, yo, clean your shit up on reporting on my brother. Everyone's making money off. Like, kind of some weird shit.
What?
I never saw this. So a friend of mine, Patrick, comes into work the other day, and he's telling me this story. I'm like, so I Google it. Sure enough, it pops up. Well, yesterday, he is now just being arraigned for possibly, this is fucking crazy, possibly staging school shootings at UConn and Brown University. Like, scoped him out. His ex-girlfriend alerted the police.
What?
Like, fucking, like, this dude just went off the deep end.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. What? And runs in the family.
And like he got into a high-speed car chase with the police. They had to taser him. While they're tasering him, he's yelling, just fucking shoot me, just kill me. Like, this dude was just like a normal dude.
So you thought,
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's just mentally, I don't think he can handle it
This
anymore.
was his brother.
This is, because Aaron's dead. Aaron's dead. Aaron hung himself. But yeah, it's just fucking nuts. And all right, so let's finish on big UFO day today.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how much you're into UFOs, or if you follow it, or if you've seen one.
Yeah, they said UFOs are real or whatever.
Yeah, it's not quite how it went, but yeah. So there's 2 whistleblowers for the CIA
Yeah.
that came out, and they had
I thought there was 3.
maybe 3.
Yeah, I think there's.
Yeah, and they testified today in front of Congress.
Yep.
And one of them basically said that he has no doubt that the government has artifacts that aren't from this world, like pieces of ships, maybe some dead bodies,
Yeah.
like they are not from the earth.
Okay.
And he said that he was very concerned for his life. They tried to hush him up. He got some help and got out of that situation, and now he's testifying. I've seen one before, pretty up close. It's a story I've told on this show before. I won't get into it again, but it was on 995 in West Haven about 14 years ago. You know they're fucking hiding shit. At least I do. What's your UFO stance?
I mean, it's kind of obvious they've been probably hiding shit. But what if, play devil's advocate? What if he's lying? What if they're all lying? What if they're like the CIA is like, all right, go and tell them aliens are real, tell them UFOs are real.
Right.
Just get them distracted on that for a little while, and then we're gonna go and do some fuck shit. You know what I mean? Who knows? You ever think of that?
Wait, say the last part. We're gonna go and do some
Fuck shit.
Fuck
I
shit?
don't know what it is, but imagine they fucking go like.
So you think this is like diversion right
it
now?
could be a big distraction. You know, make us believe because like.
Usually the distractions are the school shootings.
Well, yeah, that's a big one. But think about like New World Order or whatever.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to bring the whole world together, all they'd have to do is just like a big mothership would just have to show up and everyone sees it on TV and everyone's like, holy shit, we all have to come together as humans.
They tried that with COVID, it didn't work.
Well, I mean, COVID wasn't a fucking mothership. Imagine looking up into the sky and you see fucking a ship as big as like the fucking, I don't know, the Earth. Like literally right there. And
Right.
everyone can see it, everyone knows it's there, and everyone's like, oh shit, we all have to come together as one human race, and then boom, here comes the one world order that's like, hey guys, I'll fucking step up, and here we go, one world order. And
Right.
and then we find out later on, 10 years later, that was just a big projection in the sky or some shit, and they just use that to, whatever, I don't know. I'm just getting on to like kind of a conspiracy.
No, I like it. That's why I love to hear shit like this.
But, I've always grown up thinking that aliens are real and whatever, and whatever, thinking that, it would be cool if they were, but what if they aren't? What if
They just found one in Vegas, dude. He was hiding out in some dude's backyard.
what,
The
they found
ship
an
crashed. Yeah, the ship crashed.
alien? Really?
There's video of it, and then there's like this 9-foot being that was hiding behind some dude's boat.
No way.
Yeah, Google it.
I mean, I'd have to see
The Las Vegas PD, the 3 PD guys in Vegas that showed up on site are like fucking white as a ghost now. They're like terrified of what they saw.
Oh, I bet. Well, so what if
My theory is they've been
what if,
here.
What if it's like a demon? What if?
I'm not into that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Me neither. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What if they're called? You know what I mean?
Doesn't fit my narrative, okay?
Or like, what if it's an underwater demon?
So now we're
about
talking.
that?
I actually think that the aliens come from.
Yeah,
I think they've been here.
Yeah, maybe.
Like the universe is so old that I can't imagine that we're the only lucky fucking planet that got the perfect spot to be in with a solar system and a sun and a moon. There's got to be it's so vast out there. But what happens if this happened? Think of the progress since 1800. In 200 years, right? Like we are like on the precipice of AI and machines doing their own shit, and just 150 years, and it's I don't know. Oh, you got it, it's twisty, and I just feel like they've been here, like they've been like under the sea.
Yeah, I could see that if they're like maybe because space is so vast that like. I don't know. They'd have to travel fucking far.
Where are we gonna be in 10,000 years?
Mm-hmm.
Like where can we go in 10,000 years?
Yeah, we could be living underwater. Like imagine there's
We could be fucking.
There could be cities underwater that we don't even know about because they're so deep or whatever the fuck.
Maybe Atlantis was actually an alien society,
mm-hmm.
and they didn't know how to.
There could be some hot chicks down there.
There could be.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's why they're down there. There's mad gold and shit.
You ever see on like this website X videos of the sexy? Oh wait, whoa.
Never heard of it. You mean X.com. Twitter.
Twitter, yeah. The sexy alien videos that I've heard about.
No, yeah, who knows? I mean, but yeah, like literally, like yeah, they could imagine like aliens came from the ocean and like the government's known about them since the 40s or whatever, and like the aliens were like, yo, chill out, stupid humans. We've controlled this land forever. Just you gotta do what we do and shut up and whatever. Like I can believe that more than them traveling from like other stars because it's like they'd have to live forever to like travel that far unless they figured out a way to teleport.
Like, you've seen alien movies, right?
Of course.
So, like, Independence Day, nah, that's not what it's going to be like. One of the movies I liked, I just watched the other night, it wasn't one of the greatest movies. It was Keanu Reeves. It was The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, they've been watching the Earth for fucking
Ever.
Yeah. And they finally came to Earth and said, you guys are fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, we got to take this back.
Yeah.
Like, we gave you a million opportunities to fucking get along, and you can't get along.
I saw this one fucking meme, dude. I gotta share this meme with you. It was like, imagine like the aliens were like, "Yo, we're gonna blow up your whole world if you don't bring us 1,000 Starbucks." And then they come back 2 days later, and then we're like, "Yo, we got you 1,000 Starbucks coffees," and they're like, "No, you idiots, we meant Starbucks, the universal."
Money. The universal currency.
We're like, oh fuck. Just blow there. But no, yeah, literally like. But what if this? What if the aliens are something that we can't even pick up with our senses? Like we can't.
That could be.
We can't taste, smell, or see them or hear them. You know, there's some other fucking sense we don't even have.
Right.
Like if you couldn't smell, like, and an alien was a fart, you wouldn't even know it existed because you couldn't smell it. You know, but there could be this fart lingering in and like controlling our minds or whatever, or wanting to use us as slaves.
Body snatchers.
Yeah, body snatchers.
Yeah,
Exactly, whatever it is. That's another crazy thing. It's like, why do we think that aliens are just going to be these 6 foot tall dudes that look kind of like humans but are just different in one kind of little way? They could be these fucking
like, look at the shit that's in the ocean.
They could be some jellyfish motherfuckers,
right?
But like floats through the air. You know what I mean? Or like something that's like this.
There's
small.
still a gazillion species we have not discovered in the ocean because we can't get that deep yet.
Yeah, they could be the size of a cunt hair and they just fucking come in, go up.
We call that sea hair around here, but yeah.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a fun topic to talk about because there's so many different ways. Like, I used to be 100% about aliens. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, there's definitely aliens and shit. But then, like, with all this COVID and just, like I just immediately want to not trust anything they say.
Right.
Like, if they're just...
But this is something they won't say, though. They're hiding it. They've been hiding it for years.
But now they're coming out and being like, yo, what's up, aliens? Well, they could have been prepping...
That was Trump. Trump's like, you got to start releasing this shit.
They could have been prepping us for years, you know, to be ready for
Yeah, it's probably all tactical.
Because nowadays, dude, how crazy is it right now? If it was 40 years ago that they did this, it would have been crazy. Everyone would have been like,
mass hysteria.
Holy shit, yeah. Right now, no one...
But you go on your phone and you just see reels and you're like...
Dude, I scrolled by it.
That looks pretty real, but it's probably not. But, you know...
Well, they didn't show anything. Like, with the briefing, they should have just showed some sick videos of just like, yeah, look, this is us autopsying an alien. And then everyone would have been like, holy shit. Like,
the one that I really like, and it's a little bit blurry, but it's the cube that this Air Force pilot caught on his camera.
Yeah,
it's just like this like metallic cube over the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it came from the ocean. These guys are just chilling down there.
Yeah.
They're waiting.
There's also extra dimensional beings or whatever the fuck. Like, you know what I mean? We're living in one dimension, and there could be people living in other dimensions that just like we can't even see or whatever.
Right.
Because we're like on this, we're in this piece of paper dimension. They're living in this fucking full box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're so much far more developed than we are.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um.
Or they could be computers. It could be like Terminator.
Yeah.
It could be all AI.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't need to breathe. They don't need to eat. They don't need to do anything. They can go into space.
The AI is the aliens.
Oh shit! It's getting a little deep right now. All right, let's wrap it up. Plug your shows again coming up.
Okay, yeah, we're playing at the Space Ballroom in 2 days. When does it come out?
Huh?
Does it come out right now? Well, people are listening right now.
Yeah. They're watching it. It's on Twitch, but they're probably not watching that. Nobody watches fucking
It comes
Twitch.
out,
But they'll hear it tonight.
Alright, well, we are playing the Space Ballroom on Friday, the 28th. We are opening for Mest. That's pretty much it until next month. I think we'll be playing the skate park, but I don't have a date yet. But that's pretty much it. We got some music coming out. We have a whole album coming out later this year, and other than that, I'm holding back all these burps.
That's all right.
That's pretty much it. Check us out on scoopedupband.com or just look us up on YouTube, Scooped Up, or Spotify.
Yep.
All those things. We're on every platform you think of. So
Awesome. You can see the show on my YouTube channel. I'll upload. Probably not till tomorrow. I'll upload it tonight. YouTube's weird. It takes like a day. You can download the show right on www.daydrinkingwithdog1g, not 2Gs.
Yeah, where's the dog? I was hoping that
I'm the dog.
I know.
I'm the dog. Everyone drives so many funny. The sign I have out front. People are like, they have no idea what this thing is.
I was gonna take my dogs out for the show, but I forgot to.
And obviously Spotify and Apple, and everyone knows that stuff. So, Jimmy, thanks so much for coming on, man. I'm glad we were able to connect. I definitely want to check you out on a show. It looks like it'd be a fun time.
Yeah, come see us, man.
Yeah, I definitely will. And rock on. And you know, if the aliens fucking come at us, I'll text you. I know some places to go upstate.
Hopefully they want to party. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring them out. Show them
Wouldn't that be the best? Like they
Yeah.
finally come down and it's like,
They hit a blunt of weed.
Yeah, and we're like,
"Oh,
dude."
this is where it's at.
they're like, oh, you want to see how to make a laser? Sure, we'll show you. You want some real synthetic weed? We know how to do this.
Dude, if an alien just came through and I smoked him up and he's like, all right, here's a teleportation device, I would just be stoked. It'd save me so much time.
Man. All right, I'm going to let your song play at the end here.
Sweet.
As we close it out. Again, this is Scooped Up, Dyslexic. Check out the music video. Oh, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of portray your dark humor. So I watched all the little snippets you did the other day, last night. And I think my favorite one was you like woke up and you're like being all inspirational and you're like, you know, I do the same routine. I know I line up my day with everything I'm going to do. I brush my teeth like everyone else does or whatever. I have breakfast. And then next scene, you're like sitting underneath the bridge and then I just shoot up heroin.
Yeah, it's like a complete left field. Fucking, yeah, no, thank you. That was part of my daily videos, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was when I was like kind of skeptical or like hesitant to put out because I was like, I don't want people to like think I actually do heroin or whatever. Like, I'm a skinny guy.
And there's another one. He injected his fucking PB&J with heroin and cocaine.
Yeah, but no, I don't. For the record, I know.
And then it turned into a sneaker. Kind of weird stuff, but
Yeah.
definitely check it out on his
If you're
channel.
wondering, I don't do heroin. We're good. It's all good.
Jimmy, thanks so much. We'll have a drink after the show.
Yeah, man,
Shoot the
thanks for
shit a little
having me
more.
on. This was
Absolutely. And this is Dyslexic. Awesome.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
smooth as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I talk about it almost weekly. Like for 3 minutes weekly. I had a guy on like last. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If we are, then there's no point.
Right.
Or if they are, they could be the guys.
They're controlling it. They're pulling the strings.
Exactly. They could
Yeah.
be the simulating fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good though.
It's funny. Hold on. Let me just stop the recording.
I was listening to Ames